All right, we are live with Echo Flips. Today we're going to talk about how to deal with the chaos of Q4 because both Cody and I are dealing with that right now.
Yeah.
If you are in the chat, we will get to your comments. If we're in conversation, we see it, we'll get back to you ASAP. I hate it when people just like don't read the comments. It bugs me when I'm in a YouTube live. But yeah, speaking of the chaos, right before this call, I got off another call. My virtual assistant emailed me and said that like the scans from TA showed 0 results and had to preheat the oven for dinner right after this, and just got home right before the call before, and
Oh, wow.
like making sure that the video for tomorrow is like all edited and everything. So it's
the YouTuber problems.
right. What about you, Echo?
Just like random stuff.
You
What
got
is
Cisco.
Cisco? Man, I've been meaning to talk to you for a while, Cisco. Yeah, honestly, random stuff. I had some account health issues happen today, and my plan of action is really just doing more volume on my account of like lower dollar stuff to like just in case I'm not able to get something off my account, make sure I'm protected. That was the bulk of what I did today. I've been looking at like random stuff, like chocolates are starting to fly. Like there's just things that are just going crazy right now. First world issues, yes, that's a fact. Welcome, Ethan. Welcome.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they are first world issues, but it is hard to just like take a breath.
Yeah.
Like, if my VA doesn't source today, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera.
I feel like you go to sleep and then it's like, wow, I'm like you go to like I regret going to sleep sometimes because it's like, wow, I missed this opportunity of like, this thing came up and you're like, man, I should have went to go and buy it. Because like right now, a lot of these sites are doing the early Black Friday. I know Walmart just got the early Black Friday. Yeah, like all these sites are just starting to push out the Black Friday deals early. So it's kind of, I know you do mainly eBay and Amazon, so it's kind of, you're like, yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. But
I mean, I hear people talking about East Bay. People were loving that sale.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't do as much of that. Yeah, there's always the fear of missing out. You know what I mean? Like last night, I think I worked until like 10 p.m. and then I woke up at like 2 a.m. like still in work mode and had to like sit on the couch for like a half hour before I could fall asleep again. So no more of that. We are unplugging from work tonight. Way before that. We should meditate. That's what I had to do this morning because nothing productive was going to happen. All right, I'm going to lead us in a guided meditation for attention. No, we're not going to do that because I don't think anyone cares. But speaking of meditating, you should do it. It helps.
You actually do it daily, or?
Christiana, good to see you.
Oh, welcome, Christiana.
I don't necessarily do it daily, but I try and do it like regularly.
Interesting. I just go out in the sun sometimes. Like I like that.
Thing.
No. I feel like that's kind of. I mean,
crunchy.
It's not. Yeah, that's kind of. I think just having the sun on you like makes you feel more energized.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard meditating's good. Never tried it though.
Facts. I do it once a week. Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, at least. I love my walks. I feel better if I go for a walk. Sometimes I have my pondering walks, and then sometimes I just have like a nice walk. I'm like, if I make this much money, then this will happen, blah, 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 blah. Spencer, you got Spencer in the house. Spencer, FOMO is hard. I constantly battle with feeling like I should be doing something to grow my business. But with a 9 to 5, I feel like I'm on the way to burnout. We could talk about that, burnout, how to avoid burnout with this Q4 chaos. Do you have any off the top of your head thoughts on that? Or do you?
I don't know. For me, it's like you're gonna regret that you didn't put in the work now. So just like, even if you're like, man, I feel like like with burnout, I assume it's kind of like, oh, I feel like not doing anything because you feel tired and whatnot. But it's really just like it's Q4. You don't have time to be tired. You're gonna go in. You gotta flip the stuff. Like that's at least what I think about it. I mean, that's kind of like a hardcore point of view. But it's like, we'll be tired after we made the bag.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking, at least.
I feel like my perspective on burnout is when there's less motivation and like momentum in the business, it's much easier to get burnt out. Like if I like came off a really good month or two and then like suddenly sales are like 60% of what they are and like I don't see the direction that I'm going, that's the time that I start to get really burnt out because I'm like, this sucks. I'm not doing this right. Like I suck. And you get like all personal about it.
Yeah. I think also like having a good why too. Like if you don't have a good why, then I could totally see how it's easy to get burned out. Like say you're like, oh, your goal is to make like $1,000 for reselling, and you're already at like you're like around 1,000, and it's like getting more money just doesn't really matter too much. I feel like that's what happens with burnout too. It's like you don't have a clear cut vision of like what you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? That's what I've experienced, at least. Like, yeah.
Feel like, yeah. Talking about like vision of what we're going for, I tend to be more like scattered and like I want to try this addition to my business. I want to try this addition to my business and like kind of scatterbrained and not focus on making the actual like main business of Amazon like better and stronger. Because like if I'm doing, let's say I do like 50K a month, like honestly, like you can increase that. Like it's not like it has to just like stop at that point. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's more work that you can do. Like even if my like sourcing budget is spent, like maybe next time when I get money, I could spend more time and like increase my ROI if I needed something else to do. Like could have done that, for example.
Yeah. So like I could totally see like the loss of focus leads to burnout too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely had that issue before.
Yeah, I definitely have too. I have to be very focused about like, all right, I am not like merch fulfilling TI-84 calculators because that sounds fun. Like, no, I'm not gonna do these like random extra things.
Yeah, I mean it's whatever works.
Yes, yeah. Going to Cisco's question, real question for both of you. What is more important, networking or learning to source well? Both, of course, but what should you prioritize to start?
Oh my
God. I mean,
I love this question. I don't know
because it just makes us uncomfortable.
No. I actually really do like this question because the thing is, and I tell people this all the time, even if you're like bad at finding leads, right? Like say you could find 5 good, I think I kind of said this in the other live, but it's like, I mean, it's really important though. Like say you can only find 5 good leads in a day and you're not like the best at sourcing, but you can find 2 other guys that can also find 5 good leads and you're sharing leads with each other every single day, like you're gonna get good. But if you're alone finding 5, like even if you're really good at sourcing and you can find 10 really good leads in a day, right? Alone, you're still not as good as somebody that's subpar at sourcing but has a better network. So I think it's network and then being able to find leads is like that's like the flow chart. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. It's hard to like trust enough to like share leads with someone. I definitely get that. Like I get the fear of like not wanting to share your storefront with someone. Like I get the fear of like, oh, your stuff is gonna tank if you share it with someone else. I know for me, before I started posting on social media, I was basically, I think my highest month before I started posting on social media was like 17K in a month, which is like, it was still full time because it was books, but
That's really good with books.
17K with books.
Yeah, that's really good.
I had a good source, like a pretty good source.
Okay.
The Goodwill Outlet world, but I appreciate that. But like, yeah, when I started posting on social media, started getting around more people, and I wasn't necessarily like sharing leads with people, but definitely like got around people who were like talking about spending a lot of money on inventory and all that stuff, and kind of made those norms normal. My suggestion is like get with a friend and like maybe share leads with one person that like you've known for a while or like really vibe with.
Yeah, I like maybe it's just a hot take, Seth, but I always like if you go down the rabbit holes enough, there's so much to eat. Like even if you have like I have a lot of these other sellers storefronts where they're doing 200K plus a month, right? And they're just strictly doing OA. The thing is you know, I could copy exactly all their products, but I want to get products that have really good margins, things like that. Some products they're losing money on, so I don't think like I think having people's storefront is only like one part of the equation. I know people personally that have like a bunch of people's storefronts, right? But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. You got to still do the digging to find the leads.
I guess when I was saying the caution about storefront, some people get scared that like the person's gonna like turn on them and like send them an IP claim or something or like a counterfeit.
Oh,
Like
I
that.
mean,
But I mean that's like
I
some
mean,
real level like scum.
yeah, that's kind of.
I don't think anyone actually does that.
Yeah, I hope nobody does that.
Not, but
Well, yeah. I'm not gonna talk more about that, but yeah.
yeah.
Everybody be nice in the Amazon community.
I mean the thing is that an account can usually take like a lot of those anyways before anything actually happens. But I
Yeah.
found at this point, which is early, I value process and practice more than leads. Don't give me a fish, show me how you caught it.
Facts.
I mean, and like there's some value to like also like Cody is saying, basically getting another person's perspective and like confirmation that like, yeah, this does fly. And yes, I am purchasing 18 of them. Like that does help. Like it's sometimes like just looking at it on your own, you're just like, I don't know about this. I think it's good. I'm going to test really low on it. But then another person sees it that is like doing better than you. And they're like, oh yeah, you should definitely buy a lot of these. And I am too. Like, look, I just bought 30. Like
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Spencer says, I actually like that clear cut why keeps you going. Yeah, that's how I feel like every time I've been burnt out, it's because I didn't know what the next thing is. Like right now, I'm like, no burnout, 100K months, we're going 100K month. And after that, you know, we'll figure out what happens. But it's like you have the clear like goal, and then like you have, I'm not going to get into like the whole thing of my why and things like that. But like you have the clear goal, and you have like okay, this is why I'm doing it. Most of it's to really just help other people to get the ball rolling. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Seth?
About the why.
Yeah, about the why.
Yeah, I think I don't know what I think about it.
It's all good.
Be completely honest. I mean, I think it's really helpful. I mean, I obviously know that it's good to have a why, but like right now, it's like not connecting for me.
It's all good.
Honest thoughts. When I said burnout earlier, I mostly meant physically though, like staying up late, learning sourcing, no sleep, work, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, I mean, especially with a full-time job, it's just rough. Like physically, like you're going to that. Like if you have a full-time job that you physically have to go to, and then you resell after that. Like when I worked at a physical job, like I understand the pain, like the pain. At least though you have OA, so you can do pretty much everything from home, like on that end, and you're not just doing like you're going to work, standing around for like 10 hours, you know, doing work, and then going to do RA. That I've done that before, and it's
so
so bad.
You can only source so much RA energy wise.
Yeah.
The full-time thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like you'll get there. Like you're doing. I mean, you're doing great. Put in the work.
You could also just suggest, like in a week's time, you could just write out all the things that you're doing and like figure out these are the things that are really pushing things forward, and just like neglect certain things that are like not quite necessary. Like you didn't have to learn how to set up like channel max or something like that as a different repricer this week. Like be cool, or like you're just not going to like grow and improve maybe as fast, but at the same time you're doing the things that matter. You're purchasing profitable items and you're getting them listed, whether that's a prep center yourself.
Yeah, facts.
Kind of cutting out like the secondary stuff.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can be super productive of a 9 to 5 too, like while you're while you're doing OA, because like especially like if you have a good 9 to 5, you can hire a VA and pretty much outsource everything and not like have the burden of like having to live off of the Amazon income too.
I thought you were saying hire a good VA to do your job. That way you have time for Amazon.
Oh, I mean, you could do that too. I've heard of people that like do that,
Garrett.
where it's like they'll get like a work from home tech job and then they'll like employ a VA and then they'll just like,
That sounds like a dream.
Yeah, I know, right? But it's definitely not like I don't think you can legally do that. Maybe some jobs you could, but like they hired you, they didn't hire some guy in India, to do the job, but then you outsource it to him, and then yeah. I read a Reddit post about that where a guy ran it up and made like 400K doing that. I was like, ain't no way. And his job had no idea for like 10 years. I was like, what?
And retire off that.
I know, right?
I keep telling my wife that she needs to hire a VA to do her counseling client notes, but that's very illegal.
I bet. Yeah, I think that's kind of the problem is like a lot of those jobs they could. That's also another thing that I've been thinking about too. I'm like you could task your VA to do a specific task and you like never really check in with them. And then they could just outsource that to another VA.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't care like at all if somebody did that. Like if my VA did that, I wouldn't care. As long as the work gets done and we're producing results and making money, I like it. It's whatever.
I mean, like I have no complaints if my VA like works 15 hours a week instead of 40 hours a week. Like as long as they're like getting the things done that I need them to get done.
Yeah.
I guess I would feel a little bit like, wow, I'm a sucky boss a little bit, but besides that, I'd get over it.
Yeah.
Definitely caught a dude last year who was using a VA to do email contact center work. We found out because his VA reached out to the company about payment.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. I guess at some point, like someone's gonna like send someone the wrong email or like.
Yeah, something's gonna happen. They're like, why is this
Punjab from India? I don't even know if that's not an Indian name, but I'm just
yeah, just messing around. Yeah, that's a whole business model in itself right there.
There's actually a business model. Like I almost in my burnout / like want to add something to what I'm doing. I found this thing where you basically post ads on like, I think it's like Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace for like high-end editing jobs for people. Like, and then you basically outsource it to like a virtual assistant. And so like they pay you like $2K and you pay like $400 to the VA. And like you just do that. Like,
yeah, I think
that sounded sick, but then like the whole like idea of the job is just delegating, and I don't even love delegating in and of itself. Like I have to.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's like a million ways to make money out here.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, okay. Getting back to the topic of Q4. So for the eBay to Amazon stuff, are you going deeper on like your usual profitable SKUs, or you just kind of?
Yeah, so basically several months ago, I found out that my return rate was over 30%, and I am done with that. I do not want that anymore. So I'm transitioning to selling just about all new items. I was selling just about all used items. And so I am kind of starting over from scratch as far as that, like somewhat from scratch, but like, because like some of the items you could find a ton of them used, but you can't necessarily find them new.
Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot of like TA flip mine and like storefront stocking to find like bulk eBay to Amazon stuff instead of like one-off docking station that's like $200. Because
Yeah.
kind of like you, I'm trying to like get some more sales numbers on my account because like
Yeah.
I love the boost.
Yeah, for me, I'm really just concerned about, I guess, like, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I'm doing the exact same thing as you, but I'm really like, I feel like I'm starting over a little bit because I'm like, I was used to selling a bunch of shoes. We've had some account health issues because of shoes, so I'm like, okay, we're gonna sell like a ton of like fast moving, like very low ROI things, um, like get into grocery, get into some seasonal plays, some toys, Legos, basic Q4 stuff, and really just run up that wave for a bit.
So the account health issue, was that eBay to Amazon or was that like another site?
I mean, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's like eBay to Amazon. Like you can't really, like if you get like an inauthentic claim, you can't really like I'm trying to fight it, and I've heard of people where it could get solved, but it's kind of like a dicey thing where it cannot get solved. So I'm just planning for like worst case scenario, and I have like an action plan in place pretty much. Like that's what I was thinking about this morning. I was like, okay, if we move a certain number of units, then we're gonna be in the green no matter what. Um,
Yeah.
Kind of like how 1,000 ASINs, like he has like a ton of things on his account, but his account health is completely fine. Like he's got a ton of IP complaints and like all these violations and whatnot, but his account health is completely fine because he moves so many units.
Yeah, just context for people who haven't seen his story post. He posted his account health with like all his claims and then the account health rating. And his account health rating was like maxed out, 1,000 out of 1,000. And he looked down at his claims. He has like 13 counterfeits, 27 IP claims, like all these claims, and yet he has 1,000 because he's a big wholesaler who like moves a ton of units, wholesale and OA. Yeah. So volume's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was talking to, I don't know if Ethan's still in the chat, but Ethan's one of my buddies, and I was talking to him today, and I think having yeah, having some type of like hybrid model between like selling like safe items where like if you got a claim it wouldn't be a big deal, uh, and then doing more risky plays like eBay to Amazon. So you have like these items that a lot of other people aren't going after that you can make a ton of money on, but are risky to sell. Is like that seems like the best model. Like from like I've just been thinking about the past few days. I'm like that seems like the best model, because you mitigate your risk, but then you're still making a ton of money on the risky items. And
Yeah.
you're still making good money on the items that aren't as risky to sell, just like some basic, say like grocery items. Um,
I've thought
but
about doing wholesale and adding that to the mix. That probably
yeah,
on paper that would probably be the best option, I think.
as like a fix for like account health issues.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too,
I
but
mean,
I don't necessarily want to do wholesale right now.
but
Was that?
either that or just like selling everything that has regular receipts. But I mean, I have
Yeah,
people like purchasing stuff from Walmart and they haven't like gotten claims removed in the same way. Like sometimes there's still glitches that happen, but
yeah.
um,
I wonder how many of those people that say that, if they bought from a third-party seller
Yeah,
on Walmart or Walmart themselves.
it's a good point.
Because, like, if you're buying from a third-party seller, from my like current knowledge, it's like buying from a seller on eBay.
Yeah.
While if you're buying from like sold and shipped by Walmart, then that's like a little bit of a different story. But maybe you know a bit more about that than me, Seth.
It would probably be the same thing as an eBay seller, probably.
Yeah, that's
And
what I'm thinking.
except some of those people are like bigger sellers, like brick and mortar stores, so sometimes that helps. But using Keep a Product Finder, I found some very fast moving items with only 1 or 2 Chinese companies on the listing. Decided to not risk it. What do you mean? Oh, okay. So you thought they were private label items?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think it's like some type of Alibaba kind of deal that he
Private.
found on Keep a Product. I love sourcing using Keep a Product Finder, but yeah, yeah, that could be not to like if they have Chinese letters and things like that in their name, it's usually like they're doing some type of Alibaba, like you know.
I mean,
I've seen those listings before. I know what you're talking about.
Americans do that too, though.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's the reason why you wouldn't sell, but you like I've seen before where like people will find products that specifically you're buying on Alibaba and then selling on some random Amazon listing. On those listings, usually there's a ton of Chinese sellers, and it's just kind of like a bad. It's not something you want to sell on because it's somebody else's like private label product that just a bunch of other people are on for whatever reason. It's like you're just waiting for the guy that owns the listing to just kick you off.
And give you an IP claim as well.
What was that?
And give you an IP claim as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I just think it's like it's a risk.
It was an attempt at Amazon to Amazon flip, trying to take advantage of listing pricing errors. Yeah, you just got to stay away from the ones like if you scroll down in the Keepa and you see the bottom section of it is just like the offers tab, and it's just like one dude and then like 1 or 2 sellers coming on and then like dropping off, and then one guy or 2 guys like that. Like that's I think that's one of the biggest red flags.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most of my store is just completely like I find a private label item and I just hop on the listing, and I've only gotten a couple claims from it.
Are you...
As a joke, it wasn't.
Okay. I was about to say, I was like, "There's no way."
No.
Yeah, you know.
That's how I got one of my claims. Actually, I
Okay.
basically listed on a.
Josiah's here.
What's up? Good to see you. I think Josiah's going to join us tomorrow potentially.
Awesome. Yeah, like I'm really vibing with the nightly lives. You know,
it'll be good.
My bad if I cut you off, like you're saying before.
I was just a bunch of BS about selling private label items because definitely was not doing that. They got Ethan saying, "Do you have any claims on your account, or how do you plan on combating that?" Yeah, I have a couple. Most of them are about to drop off pretty soon. So basically, if you do completely eBay to Amazon, you basically have to let them drop off your account for the most part. And then I think I'm planning on combating it by adding more volume. That's why I don't do all $300 items anymore. That way I can actually move some volume.
Yeah, get the little bit of padding.
Yeah. What about you, Cody?
It's really just like right now I'm just dealing with counterfeit claims, which I don't know if we'll get off the account, and that's why we're going to try to move a ton of volume. I mean, yeah, that's really just the plan. I just don't want to like, you just don't want to like jeopardize what you have, and you want to make sure you can keep on selling. So
yeah,
just moving a ton of units to make sure your account's at good standing is the most important thing. Like this month, even if I made like say last month was a 10K profit month, but even if I made like 2K profit this month, but I can get like move a ton of units, I'd be really happy. Like my goal for this month is to move like 3,000 units, but I don't know if we'll be able to do that.
That's a lot of units. Yeah,
I know, but I calculated, and that's pretty much what I need to, like if everything doesn't pan out, if I moved 3,000 units, then like my account would be completely fine. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no matter what, pretty like I don't want to say necessarily no matter what, but like we'd be chilling. We could do more like risky eBay to Amazon kind of plays again.
Yeah, to be completely honest, for some reason, I don't know why I've never done this, but the thought of doing apparel eBay to Amazon with like Nike being as aggressive as they are and like Nike customers and like that, I feel like there's an attitude of apparel customers that like they're more likely to leave a claim. I probably just like wouldn't even do, like I would be sketched out doing apparel eBay to Amazon just because I hear so many horror stories of customers like saying it's counterfeit just because like a bag's torn or like the box is slightly wrong.
Yeah, I think that's one of the downsides of selling some higher end items too. Is like no matter what the higher end item is, the customer is like, I guess, kind of more savvy too, or it's just people trying to commit fraud. Like I know one of the claims on my account, literally a guy just trying to commit fraud. So
Like
it's
you
just
just
really
wanted a refund and to keep the item.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, I know, definitely cringe. Yeah, that guy's definitely cringe. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I don't know how else to say it. Yeah, so we'll start here.
Yes.
We'll get to the other comments as well. So what's your strategy for getting that many units, lowering profit numbers? Are you gonna like run up some Walmart or like?
Yeah, so my plan right now, Rite Aid, Walmart, really anywhere like I can get massive quantity and stuff that like moves in massive quantity. Like even at like I'm really like even if it gives me like 50 cents profit and say like you spend like $5 on, like I'd be happy for that because I just want padding. I don't care about anything else. Because the thing is, like, imagine you didn't have your account, right? Like, and you're making 10 grand a month or whatever it is, 5 grand a month on Amazon. Like, say you're making 5 grand a month on Amazon. Like, how much is your account worth to you? It's like, well, if you can't make 5 grand that next month, you're gonna lose 5 grand. So I think right? Josiah, responding to your Rite Aid easy to order quantity. I just started placing my first few Rite Aid orders, so I'll let you know how it goes. I've heard from other people they don't really cancel too much, so we'll see how it goes. I plan on what was that?
Josiah was like kind of discouraging me from doing like just break even like Nike sock type stuff. He's like, just source like 10 to 20% ROI items.
Yeah, like there's definitely a lot of profitable items you can move. Like you don't have to take a loss on it. I found like all today, that's all I've been looking for, and I found a handful of items that move like 8K units in 30 days that like you can make like a quarter on or $1 or $2 on. And that like, I might just keep that to my, like you still build your catalog, it's just in a different way. I was like, wow, this is kind of a blessing in disguise too, because now you get like all these like crazy fast movers that I guess it looks like some people see the orange bars and they're like, oh my gosh, you're making so much money. But then it's like, you're not making too much, but you're just moving a ton of random stuff that's just high volume.
So the answer to this question is, yeah, that's kind of the point. Yeah. When you move lower ROI items, if it does volume. Yep, temporarily for account health stuff. Spencer's saying, what makes eBay to Amazon flip risky outside of being private label? So basically, if you happen to list on a listing where the brand is also selling it, and the brand like doesn't want you on the listing, and they send you an IP claim, if you do eBay to Amazon, you're not going to have a regular retail receipt or invoice or any kind of proof that you're working with the brand, and so. Like you're probably just not going to get that claim removed. So that's the riskier part of it.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
You're just selling random stuff without invoices. So like if you get a claim, you can't submit any documentation. So it's like, yeah, that's pretty much, you can't really fight it. You can try, but you can't like really fight it without the correct documentation.
And like officially in the terms of service, you're technically supposed to have a letter of authorization from a brand in order to sell an item, which is ridiculousness. Nobody does that.
Yeah.
But yeah, eBay to Amazon is just like even riskier, but can be profitable as well. I'm gonna do some clearance RA and up my MF volume. Found 80 units on Friday. Most have already sold.
Yeah, let's go, Josiah. MF game is like crazy. It's that like instant, like almost instant cash flow, like fast moving.
Keep going. I was just acknowledging his
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just like that. I mean, MF, I was just so excited. Like, MF's so good.
If you aren't the best at manual OA sourcing, would a software like TA help or keep you from being successful? I guess it kind of depends on what sites you're looking on, in my opinion.
I mean,
I don't know what type of OA you do.
I think it depends. Like, I don't, like, I'm just now starting to try to learn how to use TA. I think the best products are found through manual sourcing and like these like weird roundabout ways where you stack all of the, the discounted gift cards, the cash back, you use your catch-all so you get the coupon codes. Maybe you have some other way to get like some roundabout discount. And yeah, so I think TA misses a lot of that. And I think manual is the best way, but like TA's like there's a lot of profitable stuff with TA that you can find in just a few scans. So it's really like, I think as long as you just do things, you're gonna. I don't think there's a best. I guess that's the real answer. There's no like a best. It's like you just do the thing a lot, and then you'll find stuff. What do you think? What do you think, Seth?
My tip would be like if you have like 1, 2, 3 profitable items that you really like and potentially you got them from a certain site that you're really comfortable with and you happen to know your way around that site really well. If you storefront stock the people on those listings, they probably tend to source a little bit like you do. If you can find almost those like kindred spirits to like the type of thing that you like to source, and you storefront stock them, you're going to understand better how you got them or how they got them, and it's going to be much, much better for you. So
I think that's an awesome answer. Like I like when I was looking at Rite Aid stuff today, I clicked on a seller and then like his entire storefront was Rite Aid, so it was pretty easy to just scoop, just be like, okay, we're gonna order this, order that. So yeah, that's a really good response.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, people have styles. Like you can see pretty quick, like, oh, this person is a Walmart freak, or like this person sells all used eBay to Amazon. Like, why are all their items used? Or like,
you kind of figure out what type of. I like that. You figure out what type of freak they are.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this guy, he just does Target,
This guy sells all baby products. Like, what a weirdo.
Yeah. It's like some, you're like, oh, this used bookseller.
Or like you find a store that they have a mix of books and OA products. You're like, oh, they started doing OA in like the last year, so they're still
Yeah, you can literally see the transition.
Or you get a freak like Josiah and he's all IP alert ace, and you pull up their storefront and they're in all of their links red. Have you guys ever seen that before? You like open up someone's storefront, it's just like Dell, Sony, like all these IP alert things, and you're just like, how are they not suspended?
The
It's IP alert silly. But
Bass Pro items.
What's that?
Bass Pro items. I'm pretty sure those give you. I've heard from other people.
Is Bass Pro IP?
I guess so. I've heard I've only seen a few listings of it, and the listings that I've seen, they didn't look good. I'll put it to you that way. Like the offer count did not look.
Oh.
Like it was just I probably really like those listings where just the offer count just drops,
I've been looking for one of those. Can you send me the ASIN?
Yeah, add it to your collection.
Yeah, I'm trying to get like a couple more claims for this Q4 so I can feel good about myself. I'm just trying to get some more. Yeah, yeah, there are some brands that like I tried, speaking of baby products, I tried selling this baby monitor recently, like this super fast moving baby monitor, like $200, $250 item. I can't talk. And the brand was on the listing, but they were like the highest price. So I'm like, they don't care. So I started selling it and I got a cease and desist letter from them. So we'll see how that goes. Probably something will happen, but we'll see.
Was that your first one?
Cease and desist letter?
Yeah.
No, I've gotten plenty of those.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, yeah.
You've had those, right?
I just got my first one. They were like, you gotta go to the post office. I was like, what is this? And then I went to go and pick it up, and it was just a cease and desist.
You got a message saying go to the post office?
Well, it was like this little card, and it said like you have mail at the post office. And then the mail was a cease and desist from a brand. And I was like, okay.
For the legal record, Seth never received that alleged letter.
Oh my gosh.
So I've got a ton of those.
He uses them as firewood in Alaska.
Yeah. You want to pay attention to them, and yeah. I don't know. There's no like they could send me an IP claim. They could not. Only God knows. Yeah, but I'm trying to look for IP alert ASINs. That way, people aren't going to hop on my listings, and therefore I can just like not have as much competition. I'm trying to make my Amazon store basically like a Christmas tree with the green and red IP alert things there. That way I can have all my ornaments set for the holidays. Yeah. Wait, no, green, yellow, and red. There we go.
IP alerts are just presents on your account.
Exactly.
Just joking. I just like a
mode around your products.
That's pretty good. I like how Spencer's like, yeah, just gotten a ton of those casually. The cease and desist. Oh man. I got mine and I showed it to my my mom. I was like, aren't you proud of me? I'm actually doing stuff. You're taking action if you're getting cease and desist letters.
Right. I'm surprised you haven't gotten any yet because you've been taking a lot of action.
Yeah, I was pretty. I don't like at this point. You see like things that like are supposed to be bad, and you're like, I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter. Like definitely address it, things like that. But you're like, oh okay, it's just like whatever. Like you're like, oh, like I just gotta. Bad things happen all the time on Amazon. You just kind of figure out how to solve them or reduce them, and then you just continue on.
You just lie in your bed and cry for an hour and then figure it out.
Yeah, no. I crouch in the corner and eat cookies and cream.
It's a challenge to sell more of those brands. Yeah, exactly. Gotta take action.
It's Josiah was in the military. He wants those stars,
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what any of the meanings are for like the badges or the stars or anything like that, but just like more, you know.
Well, I mean, a lieutenant is when you get 10 IP claims in a 6-month. So
Oh man.
I think Josiah, you're a lieutenant, aren't you? You were,
Yeah.
like in real life,
The-
because he was in the military. Yeah, everyone in the military wants more stars.
I heard they make you pay for like the stars and the badges. I was like, that's ridiculous. Like when you get like when you actually get them in the military. I don't know if that's true. Josiah would know. I was like, are you kidding me? Like you do all this work and they're like, yeah, you got to pay like $10.
Captain.
Captain.
Yeah, see, I don't even know if that's better or worse. Like, I don't even know. Is that better or worse? While you answer that, I've had an unauthorized seller threat come through customer communication center. Yeah, they asked if they could buy bulk, and I made the mistake of responding, and then they like hit you with a letter. Is that what happened? Because usually when I get those, it's usually just like brand protection, blah 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 blah, and then they upload a basically like a PDF letter. That's what I got a couple days ago. Yeah,
I've never really had anything like if somebody. This is like a really bad response. That's all I gotta say. But if somebody says something to me and the message seems like sus, I'm like, okay, like we're not gonna respond to that. But if it's like an actual like customer concern or something like that, then I would definitely address it. But
usually my go-to when this happens is I just put my price to sell out and I just don't restock it. So some people would say that's extremely risky, and some people would say that's too like too conservative. Yeah, so it is how it is. Yeah, often you buy your own uniform and awards. Captain is higher than lieutenant.
oh wow,
So wow, you had 20 stars. Wow. For some reason, I read this and I said, yeah, often you buy your own uniforms and swords. Swords. Heck yeah, you're high up there, managing everyone.
Yeah, Joseph is definitely definitely up there. I've watched some like YouTube videos of like people in the army. I'm like, you got to be really built for it. That's all I gotta say.
I did buy my own sword.
It's good.
I don't know. I could kind of see Josiah like being in the army and being a captain and being all proper.
Walking around with a claymore, like the huge sword, the 2-hand sword. Oh man.
He would destroy everyone. But I think Amazon's a better career.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not objectively, just for you.
I mean, Amazon's just so good. Like, you can just make good money with Amazon and like literally do anything else, you know?
So I was in a master's degree for counseling, and I was selling on Amazon at the time, and COVID happened basically. And I was selling books, and my internship was like discontinued for a couple months. And like I decided to just drop out. And the next day my dad like he was like in town for some reason, and he like brought a piece of paper with like 7 reasons why I should continue school. That was just an interesting thing. I'm like, no, I think this is going to be better.
Yeah.
It's nerve-wracking like quitting like something like that, especially if you've like put a couple years into it. Like that sucks, but
Yeah, I could totally see that. I just think like there's the outside voices of people telling you, "Oh, yeah, you can't make money doing Amazon," but like if you believe you can make money doing it, it's like you just know, you know. Like I know it's hard when you have like conversations and stuff like that. I don't know. I I think like, yeah. I don't really know what I was going there. Going with that, but if you know you can go, then the other people tell them, like, saying, "Oh, you should go back to college," and things like that. I don't think it really matters too much.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me you were in a cav unit without telling me you were in a cav unit. No Spurs for me. Bought the Saber for my wedding.
Oh man, that's good.
Love it. For your Alaska wedding, did you also have a car drive over a cliff for entertainment at your wedding? Or
I love that picture of Josiah, and he's like, he's like on top of, I don't know if, I think he posted on like his IG story where he's on top of a car. He's like in like I think it's like overalls, and it's like American flag. Like his whole outfit's like the American flag. He's just on top of my car. I sent that to one of my buddies. And he's like, "This is the most America thing I've ever seen in my life."
love it.
Oh man.
We'll probably go ahead and hop off in a couple minutes, but yeah, thank you guys for hanging out, and just we kind of did a lot of talking about Amazon stuff and kind of just messing around. I think Josiah is going to join us tomorrow. We're probably going to be Cody, are you free at 8 p.m. Eastern as well?
Yeah, it should
Tomorrow?
be good.
Yeah, so we'll probably do this.
Yeah, I'll be good.
And you'll see it on our Instagram stories if it's different. But yeah, definitely, if you haven't checked out Echo Flips' channel, go ahead and do so. He has actually some really good like tutorial type videos for a lot of the stuff that he does. We got Romero. Why you love that sweater so much?
Oh my gosh.
All right. On that note, we're gonna add.
That's a really good comment to end it on.